Good evening, everyone. It is the 25th of August. It is episode 21 of the BloomCast. My name is Luis. I'm coming to you live from my living room. I don't know where the rest of my co-panelists are. They'll be introducing themselves a little bit later. We missed our last episode last week because of some health concerns, but everything is fine now, and we're really happy to be back. We're going to be trying a couple of new things this week. The first is, if you've watched our show a few times, you will know that our normal link is bit.ly/BloomTV, and that goes to our Facebook live stream. But we've gotten a little bit of feedback from some of our audience that the Facebook live stream is actually a little bit hard to view sometimes because of video quality problems or whatever. So we have an alternate channel right now that you can go to. So that's bit.ly/BloomTV2. And that goes to our YouTube live stream, just in case YouTube is a little bit easier for you. So you can actually watch us there. It broadcasts simultaneously. And all of your comments in the YouTube live stream will also show up in the Facebook one. So we'll still be able to see what you guys are doing over there. For now, it's still a test. We're still trying to figure out if it works well. But please let us know if the YouTube live stream is better for you guys. If enough people like it, we might actually just move. No, but for now, I think we'll do Facebook first, and then we'll see what happens. So okay, let's get into it. Let me introduce my panelists for this week. With me this evening are CTO of Bloom, Ramon Tayag, COO of Bloom, Justin David, and joining us again, Coach Eman, cryptocurrency trader. Thank you so much for being around today and saving us from having to fake the Fibonacci's. We're probably going to be waiting for a couple of more of our panelists, so we'll be introducing some more people as the stream goes on. No, but let me start with this. How has everyone been? It's been 2 weeks, guys. What have you guys been up to? Coach Eman, I know that you've been busy with teaching and stuff like that. Kamusta? Oh, you're muted. Here, let me... There you go.
Ayun. Hello. So, so far, okay naman. And maraming altcoins yung nag-rally. So, mas naging busy, especially. And yung some of the pag bull market kasi, sobrang random na movement nila. Unlike pag steady lang yung market cap. So, congratulations again sa lahat ng mga nakasabay. Pero,
nice.
Very stressful talaga yung bull market kasi instead na relax lang, parang as much as possible gusto mo makasabay dun sa cycle na yan para once the distribution stage is done, relax na eh. So,
sige.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll definitely talk about the price, no? Actually, the segment after this one is about the market, because I want to hear what you have to say about like what happened over the last 2 weeks. Justin, Ramon, any news from your end? I mean, I see you guys every day, but I mean, for the benefit of the audience, how have you guys been doing? Is there anything interesting going on that you want to mention?
Yeah, okay, since Justin's muted, I'm going to go ahead.
Go for it.
Well, nothing in particular. I just been pretty bullish. Like, I feel like I'm more bullish on Bitcoin every day.
Nice.
It's harder to, like when I compare it to the day before, I feel like I'm more bullish the day after. And that we'll discuss some news items that will highlight some of my bullishness right now.
For sure. Yeah. Justin, anything new going on with you?
Yeah, echoing what Mon just said, I definitely did get a few, let's say, people who are new to the space inquiring about Bitcoin. So, and say, some old people as well who hadn't been around since 2017. So those are definitely signals of things are starting to pick up again. And at the same time, we're about 1 week away from hearing Christmas songs again. So,
yeah, that is true. Mark Vernon, you are coming to us live from, is it Cyprus? Where are you these days?
in Paphos, Cyprus. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Funny
How are things going on with you? You just bought a house recently.
Yeah, I'm working on buying it with Bitcoin. Unfortunately, the sellers didn't want to accept Bitcoin, so had to convert that money into from Bitcoin to money. But the banking system here doesn't accept. If they know the money's come from Bitcoin, they'll close your account or they won't open the account. So because of the money laundering problems like 7 or 8 years ago in Cyprus, the banking system here is totally anti-Bitcoin. And if they know you've got anything to do with Bitcoin, they'll close your accounts. And it's just completely, it makes Philippines look super advanced next to Cyprus.
Wow.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
well, they must be super worried about people being able to choose some alternate money next time they introduce haircuts again, right?
It's more about the compliance issues and the money laundering, and I'm finding that throughout. Like even in the UK, they have issues with Bitcoin being converted to come in. So I don't know if that's a fear from the banking system. Probably not. It's more like there's no regulations, so they're open to getting fined for having problems because they can't prove where the money comes from. So I'm having to prove where the money came from to buy the Bitcoin that I bought 6-7 years ago. So it's a real
how much longer are you going to be in Cyprus?
Well, Philippines won't let me come back yet, remember?
Okay. All right. So does that mean we can look forward to a house tour on the next episode? Is that where we're gonna be?
Or if it goes through, but probably not. Probably take a month, The bank, is the bank moving money around? I opened accounts with Revolut. You know Revolut?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So that was super easy, but it's a bit like PayPal. I suppose once you start putting lots of money in, then they start asking questions later on. But they make it really easy to open an account, transfer money around. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, even big amounts? Or I always thought Revolut was more of like a normal consumer kind of.
There's high limits, like 125,000 pounds or dollars a day or whatever it is. So I'll test limits and then see if we can transfer from places like Bitstamp, other exchanges, moving money to Revolut and see if they really say, we're okay with money coming from Bitcoin, because most of the banks are not. The banks in Spain and Cyprus are all anti-Bitcoin. They will close your account as soon as they see it. It doesn't matter how long you have a bank account for. It's really interesting here, but
yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit more about it, as it sounds like you're going to be there for a while. So I guess every episode we can go a little bit deeper into exactly what's going on over there.
Yeah, everything to do with Bitcoin and converting to fiat. But it's better if people in the future, when you're selling large items, cars, houses, whatever, it's better they accept Bitcoin. They can't cash out very easily, but then the chain will go on. Can I pay for things with Bitcoin? Large amounts, not coffee, but actually using it, transacting instead of cash.
Right.
Large amounts.
Let's say hi to some of our audience members here. I'm seeing some new names: Pao Gonzalez, Rome Yu, April Albero, friend of the show, frequent sponsor actually. Michael Villanueva, Vincent Macalino. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching tonight. So normally we start the show because we've got a few new viewers. What we usually do here is we'll talk about the news. We'll talk about, we'll take audience questions. I actually see some questions already, but we'll take that later. And then Coach Eman has his very normal, very regular price watch technical analysis segment. No? So he's going to tell us why the price is doing what it's doing. He's going to give us some ideas about what it might do in the next week. So we're going to start with that because we missed the last couple of weeks. I'm just gonna do like a quick rundown now. So this is what the price was at when we last left you guys. So August 11th, the price was $11,000, almost $11,000 flat, and then through the next 2 weeks, it went to as high as 12,400, almost 12,500. And then this morning, it is actually, as of right now, it's about 11,600 now. So it's kind of come down quite a bit from that point. Coach, I don't know if you wanted to share your screen or you wanted to you'll just talk, or... Sige, go for it.
Share screen ako.
Okay. Yeah. So, sige, go ahead.
I hope I'll do this right.
So I think the tip is you should turn off the X videos tab first before you click share screen.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure.
So I see it there. Okay, I'll add it now. There you
Okay.
go.
Drum roll.
Nice.
Ayan, there you
Nice.
go. Woo! Okay, so first things first, I just want to
Sige.
discuss the market cap. So I just want to discuss the market cap. So last week we are around 385, and apparently a lot of currencies nagpipick sila, no, and from there top of one of the most eye-catching sa lahat is yung mga DeFi coins. So if you guys are new with cryptocurrency and you are looking for sabihin natin updates with the current coins, and then where you can look at their website, you can go to CoinMarketCap and just go to for example this one, DeFi. Lahat ng DeFi na gusto nyo makita is nandito na, so you can also see yung price nila, the circulating supply, and as you can see guys, number one yung Chainlink. So
Yes.
for those who are thinking bakit sobrang taas ng price ni Chainlink, kasi simply with this reason. So this is just a supply and demand, guys. I don't have any idea what are the fundamentals. Yan, so you can ask Luis and other BloomX team and also Mark regarding Chainlink when it comes to fundamentals. So dito guys, pag-usapan lang natin yung supply and demand. And if you can see, the current supply of the link is 350,000 million, no? Tama ba, million?
Mhm.
Yeah. So from there, it is easy for the price to go up kasi sobrang liit na ng circulating supply niya. And that is also true with Yearn Finance. So a lot of people are celebrating na, oy, mas mataas na siya kay Bitcoin. And that is also true, same concept. Kasi ang circulating supply lang ni Yearn Finance is just 29,000 ish,
Yeah.
no? So
Actually,
it's
like
very
I have
easy.
this, I have the Yearn Finance story a little bit later in the show, and I do want to spend some time talking about it to clarify exactly what's going on there, because like a lot of people messaged me recently, na parang they were asking, hey, is this Wi-Fi thing the new Bitcoin or whatever? So like I think it's worth like really going a little bit deeper there, because there's a lot of questions.
Yan. So, gusto ko rin marinig yung reason behind. Kasi, hindi ko rin to nakita. Kasi, I'm
Yeah.
more of focusing on the large cap or huge cap like Ethereum, BTC. So, they are easy to track kasi since they already have this information in the past. So, it's easy for me to see the support and resistance. And then, the moment I start to dig deeper to DeFi, most of them, sila talaga yung primary driver ng market. That's why a lot of altcoins. And then if we're going to compare it to utility tokens, some of them are not that performing well versus dun sa mga DeFi coins. And now going back to BTC. So one of also the reason na gusto ko nang discuss is when during this rally, tinigilan ko na yung pagtingin kay BTC because again, BTC just going up, and then since huge cap siya, there is no significant increase if you are a trader. So sabihin natin for the 5%, 10%, it will be hard for us to have a sabihin natin significant return unless mag-go all in tayo. So with that, I moved to altcoins, and then ayun nga, focus on DeFi. So I don't know if Polkadot ba is also a DeFi, hindi, di ba? Parang interoperability siya, correct?
Yeah. I wouldn't characterize it as DeFi. Yeah. That's the one that's
Interop siya, di ba?
does multi-chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't
Ayun.
that's more of an infrastructure
Interop
project.
siya, di ba? Interop.
Yeah. Correct.
Interop.
Yeah.
Yan. So from there, hinayaan lang natin yung Bitcoin na umakyat, and then we traded altcoins. And then when it comes to BTC, one of the reason kung bakit I didn't focus much on BTC kasi sobrang bagal ng movement niya, and I'm also expecting na it is going to reach a significant resistance over here. So this resistance is very memorable. Okay, why? Kasi we all know na some of the traders or investor who got in during the ICO craze. You know? So,
Yeah.
maalala nila tong area na to that, yung Bitcoin is already around 13,000. So, baka naman, umabot na siya ng 20.
Oh, the resistance
And-
point was 13? Wow, that's a lot sooner than I thought. I thought it was higher than that.
Yeah, so, pero hindi pa siya umabot ng 13 Pero,
Yeah, it hasn't naman. It
around this
hasn't
year.
naman.
Yeah. Pero very significant na tong number na to if we are
Okay.
going to reach 13. And
Wow.
there's a huge probability of rejection. So speaking of rejection, we are also expecting we might have a red week. So meaning we can expect some of the currencies na talagang they are start to have a correction, or some of the altcoins are starting to enter the distribution stage. So for those who doesn't know the distribution stage, there are four stages of this stages in the market. Number one is the accumulation. So accumulation is the most boring stage in the market. So eto no, that's why if you already watching BloomCast since kailan ba to? May, 'di ba? Parang ang hirap isabihin saan ba pupunta si Bitcoin? Is it going to 3,000? Tapos is it going to 6,000? So again, pag nasa accumulation siya, it's very hard to tell kung saan siya pupunta kasi sideways, and then price are just moving on a sideline. So puro rejection within the support and resistance. So the moment we had a rally, ayan na. So naging matunog na siya sa tao. A lot of people already noticed and pumasok na yung bull market. So this is our advancing stage. And if you're going to ask me, possible ba na we might enter a distribution stage? Yes. So the answer is yes, and we should always consider, or to put it simply, reconsider na even though na this is a bull market, there might be a huge sabihin natin, catalyst or black swan ulit. Okay?
Right.
Just like what happened here. No one expecting it's going to go back around the 4,000. Diba?
Yeah.
No one expecting it. So, we might want to reconsider it here na baka we might enter the distribution. So, same thing. Same with this one. Possible long time na mag-range ulit siya. So, I don't recommend trading here. Pero if you already holding your Bitcoin from here, from this area and to this area,
Yeah, you're safe, right? Because you've got
just-
pretty good gains.
Yes, exactly. So, kumbaga, you already have a good average sa area
Right.
na to. So, all I can say is, sabihin natin, if you just actively trading Bitcoin, siguro, etong line na to, itong orange line na to, should be acting as your trail stop, meaning this is where the moment you should decide na whether to hold Bitcoin or sabihin natin spare some Bitcoin and then take profit. Pero
Why do you think that Bitcoin would be the one that could enter the distribution phase and not the altcoins? Parang the altcoins are the ones that have gained the most, no, during the last few months.
yes, exactly. Kasi if we're going to go back to the coin market cap, the BTC dominance is already 59.0. So before it was around 61, 62%. So malaki yung money na nasa Bitcoin. And then
Right.
once na matapos na yung cycle ng mga altcoins, probably a lot of those money might be going back to Bitcoin. And then if there's a lot of sellers around this area, and then they won this trade, possibly na magkaroon tayo na rejection and then enter a distribution stage. So dahan-dahan na mawawala yung volume. It start to get boring, and ayun, makikita natin na parang wala masyadong movement unlike these past few days. Pero on the other hand, if we're going to look at on the sabihin natin, pupunta ka sa Malaya and titignan mo yung chart, intact pa rin yung trend niya. Kaya I'm not doing any stupid things like shorting an uptrend. So that is the
Right.
most stupid thing na magagawa natin sa uptrend kasi
Okay.
again, just like what I have mentioned during nung hindi pa nagkakaroon ng rally, bull market is the easiest way to make money. So just stay on the trend, and then if you already have a good average, just protect your profit.
Coach,
Tapos,
did you notice anything this month about volumes going down? Because officially, Ghost Month actually only started in the middle of August. No, August 14, yung first day of Chinese Ghost Month. Did you notice that the volumes were lower than normal? Because that's usually what you expect. Traditionally, at least for the last few years, during Ghost Month, we see just the volumes just usually lower across most exchanges. Was there anything like that, or wala naman?
Ang isa lang napansin ko, same pa rin yung sentiment when it comes to weekends. Wala pa rin masyadong volume.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
it's weird.
Right.
Okay, wala
No,
pa rin
but that's
masyadong
that's
volume.
normal, right? I think sino ba nagsabi nun? Si CZ from Binance, right? He was the one who said that this is proof that institutional investors have found their way into the crypto market because those guys don't work on the weekends.
Exactly.
So those institutional guys, because they're taking a break on the weekend, the volumes of our exchanges become quite low, no?
Correct.
Yeah, interesting. So what's
Correct.
what can we look forward to for this next 6 to 7 days, for this next week? More sideways from Bitcoin, or
Yeah, I'm expecting a red week, so possible tayo magkaroon ng
Oh, shit.
rejection up
Okay.
to 11,000 ish.
Oh, wow.
Pero hindi naman siya masyadong significant if you are holding Bitcoin, no? Kasi ang significant movement talaga yung mga ganito eh. Yung malalaking movement na rally.
Well, knock on wood
Agulat.
that's not what's
Okay.
actually going to happen.
Yeah. So ayoko sabihin na wag magpanic, pero all I can say is siguro manage your risk para just in case if this happens, no? Pero depende pa rin for the investor or trader if he's looking to if he strongly believes in Bitcoin na hold ko to, wala akong pakialam sa USD. So that's fine. Pero if you are actively trading, ayan, so there's a possibility na we might reject, and then etong mga moving average natin, so etong mga line na to is acting as support. So the moving average is was being tested for a lot of times, and from there I expect this to get broken and then move to another line, which is our moving average 50. So this is going to be our next support if ma-break to, no? And then another retest on the attempt to reach another high dito, kung lalagpasan yan or what. I don't know. So all I do is anticipate what's going to happen next. And then
one last question about coach, yung so this is the Bitcoin chart we're looking at right now.
yes.
What's going on with Ethereum? Why does it seem stuck at 400? I think it's like close to 400 flat right now, no? What is it for?
Stuck siya dito, no? Yeah, same thing. Na-stuck most of the major cap currencies kasi again, when it comes to supply and demand and the circulating supply, 'di ba, parang kailangan na ng masyadong malaking pera for them to have a significant move. So
Right.
instead na mapunta sa kanila, napunta lahat yun sa DeFi coins.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
And then it's also visible din na napunta nga sila yung chunk
Right.
ng money na yun sa DeFi. So dito 59
That's
na lang
that's
siya.
why the Bitcoin dominance is going down, because most of the
Yes.
money is going into I don't know if you know the answer to this, pero when CoinMarketCap says Bitcoin dominance is whatever it is right now, 59% or something like that, does it include yung mga wrapped Bitcoins
Lahat.
inside
I
DeFi?
think lahat. Lahat.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sige. Well, anyway, we're
So
gonna do.
there's double counting. no?
Maybe, yeah, maybe nga eh. Anyway, so sige, let's talk about that in more detail later on, because we've got a lot of DeFi news. And I really especially want to talk about the Yearn Finance stuff, because that stuff is weird. Like, anyway, quick question from the audience while we're still here. Vincent Macalino is asking, I just want to ask how to avoid scam projects that are using the name of DeFi. Because I saw a lot of projects right now arising using the name of DeFi. How to check if they are legit? That's a really good question. That is going to be harder and harder as time goes on, because the scammers are getting better and better. I'm going to make one example lang of something I was reading about earlier. So there's this DeFi project. Well, I'm just going to put air quotes, DeFi project. And it's called chick.finance, CHICK.finance. That's actually the website. And because I don't know if you guys were watching when we did our Forsage deep dive where we actually looked at the smart contract code and all of that stuff. But the Chick.finance DeFi app, they were actually doing stuff with the smart contract to hide the fact that they were actually stealing people's money. So they managed to figure out a way to, even in a completely open source, transparent smart contract, they found a way to hide certain things. And if you don't understand, or if you're not looking for it, or if you can't read the code really, really well, you'll get fooled, right? And it's very unfortunate that stuff like this is possible, even when the smart contract is literally open for everyone to see. It's open, it's completely transparent, and yet people are still able to find a way to scam you out of your money. I don't know if you guys have any specific advice. In my opinion, I think you try to ask other people in the industry, try to get their opinions about the new projects that you're discovering. If you ask us on the show, we'll look at it and we'll try to give you our opinion on it. I don't know if you guys have specific thoughts on this.
Yeah, I was going to say, just have the mindset that everything is a scam until proven otherwise. Like, have that mindset with this new space.
That's pretty good advice. I mean, how long did it take you guys to get into BTC after hearing about it, right?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I think we all thought it was a scam at the maybe except Mark.
Yeah. For me, palibre ka pag hindi ka nilibre, scam. Libre mo ako kung totoo yan.
Dapat may presentation, di ba? And then mayroon silang pinapakitang pera. Yeah.
I think the problem is that a lot of these projects, especially the new ones, it's all about the airdrops, right? So every project will give airdrops of their tokens, and that's kind of how you get started with it. So you can't tell if that is a purely legit project or there's actually some kind of scam there. It's really hard to tell these things.
Yeah, keep vigilant. You might not be scammed on the first go. It might be the third or fourth or fifth go, and then you get scammed because you let your guard down. So with these new projects, make the fact that they're also young and so untested, right? As a fact that they could be scams.
Right. And even if they technically aren't scams, they're trying to steal your money, they're also very, very new. Look what happened to Yam. We'll talk about it later.
That was Yam. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes it's not even malicious. They're not actually trying to scam you. They are a legitimate project, but they still screwed up, and they still, they burst like a bubble.
May tip ako how to spot scam.
Go for it. Tell us what is
normal
your
behavior nila eh. So if we're going back to 2017, 2018, every bull market doon sila sumasabay. So this DeFi cycle, ayoko sabihin na there's a possible na mag-end to, but everything moves in cycle. They have their own behavior, life cycle, and that's also true in other business. May mga cycle din sila. And since trending 2017, 2018, it was the ICO trend. So more of utility tokens. And then ngayon 2020, it's all about DeFi tokens. And mapapansin mo, some of them are already starting to sabihin natin, dahan-dahan sila nawawala. Especially pag alam mo yung movement ng Bitcoin. Kasi there's nothing to hype na if the price is not going up.
Right.
Diba? Parang they don't have any proof. For example, Ethereum. Alam nila na it's going up. So it's easy for them to promote. Oh, ito yung legit Ethereum. Pansinin nyo.
It's like Ethereum.
Yeah.
They'll say, it's like Ethereum. It's like Bitcoin.
Yun. So if you're going to stay in this game, in this market, and then sabihin natin sinasabay mo yung trend ng crypto, once na-identify mo what will be the possible trend, you can easily identify na, biglang may lumabas ng ganito. And then you can map out na where is this guy coming from. Parang makikita mo kasi nawala sila doon during the boring stage. And then eventually they will pop up out of nowhere. Oh, come and join me. Mga ganun. So you can track their behavior during the cycle.
Okay. One quick question from the chat that I just wanted to address really quickly before we get misquoted. So EJ Lopez is asking, Wi-Fi is a scam? No, that's not what we're saying. We actually don't think that Wi-Fi is a scam. I think that Wi-Fi is just a very young project.
Yeah.
And I think that the excitement around it might be a bit too much. I think that's like my general feeling about that. But no, we're not saying that Wi-Fi is a scam, and there's no evidence that that's the case actually.
No. So we were. I'm not sure if we're bringing it up later, Luis. But just quickly, the Wi-Fi thing, where so like a bunch of tokens is centralized right now on one signature. So they're in the process of moving it to a multi-signature wallet now. So there's something like $120 million worth of ether right now that can disappear if that one contract holder changes the protocol or disappears, right? And they're just learning about this now. They're just learning about it now. So it wasn't a scam. It was more like, oh crap, there's a lot of value right now that's potentially, like theoretically, can get lost because it's all centralized under one contract.
Wait, who's learning about it?
The Wi-Fi developers? Yeah. The Wi-Fi developers.
Okay, let's talk about that during this segment, because we actually have an entire segment.
That was the Wi-Fi
oh my God.
thing, that we were saying that
but
it's not a scam, but like
going on right now. Okay, sige. Speaking of something that I'm pretty sure is a scam, so this news came out August 11th, and I really wanted to talk about it last week, but I was sick. This is what we're looking at here is a screenshot of a couple of tweets. No, so Forsage Asia, which is I guess the official Twitter account, or I don't know if it's official or unofficial, but it's a Twitter account that talks about Forsage for the Asian market, and it posted about how the BSP, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, was saying that that Forsage was a Ponzi scheme. Actually, the SEC was the one who said that. But anyway, now what's funny about this, and I wouldn't have talked about it except for the fact that Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, actually responded. No, and this guy, like a lot of Bitcoiners think that he's slightly full of himself, but whatever. Anyway, the dude is a bit of a genius. It's kind of hard to argue with that. No, he taught himself Mandarin in a month, and he responded to Forsage Asia in Mandarin, and then so they actually had to use Google Translate to kind of see what he was saying. So I'm just going to read it here. So Vitalik is saying in Mandarin, he said, they fight against you because you are a lie. Most users of this kind of project will not make money, but will lose a lot of money. This kind of project relies on more and more people coming in every day to pay the previous participants. When the new participants are gone, most users lose everything they invested. Look at BitConnect, OneCoin, etc. I ask you to leave and do not pollute the Ethereum ecology in the future. So I think that's a slight mistake in the translation. I think he meant the Ethereum ecosystem, but whatever. That's kind of the same thought, no? So I thought that this was interesting because Vitalik doesn't usually come back and talk about stuff like this directly. Kasi his position on this stuff is that he's creating the foundation for people to build their own concepts, their own ideas, and he doesn't really talk about the specific projects directly. So this is one of the first times that he's actually commented on Forsage. He hasn't talked about the other ones like Million Money or whatever. Does anyone have thoughts on this? Because I have one specific thought that I just wanted to talk about that was kind of interesting. Anyone? Okay. So what I thought was really funny here is he says, I ask you to leave and do not pollute the Ethereum ecosystem. The problem is they can't leave. That's the whole point of the blockchain. But once the smart contract has been put on the blockchain, they can't remove it. It is going to be there for as long as Ethereum exists. So Vitalik can't actually. So even if he's saying, "I ask you to leave," like there's nothing really that I know that he could do to remove it. As long as people want to use that smart contract, they will continue to use that smart contract. So I thought that was quite funny. Mon, did you have any thoughts?
Well, I mean, not really. It's just that, except this one thing, and it's not really about Forsage itself, but more about Vitalik. And when he defends the activity on Ethereum, he says, we're just building the foundation. So if there's a bad actor, it's not really Ethereum's thing or Ethereum's fault. And he's not saying that exactly, but he is saying that there is some effect on Ethereum, it sounds.
Right. Yeah. Because yes, correct. I think actually my theory is the reason why he was going out and saying this stuff very aggressively was because the projects like Forsage, they're one of the reasons why the gas prices on Ethereum is so high. Because they did about 1.5 million transactions over the last 2 months on Ethereum. That accounts for about nearly 5% of all of the transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's pretty big. And that's kind of one of the reasons why gas is so expensive these days. Here's an interesting... So like this one kind of happened just when did this happen? I guess the next day pala. Forsage actually responds to Vitalik, and I thought it was quite funny because the Google translates so bad. So it says, so the response of Forsage was, "You wash yourself white. The large-scale emergence of the project brought the prosperity of Ethereum." Okay, so I'm going to try to translate that into common sense English. So I think what he's saying is that you're a hypocrite. He's basically saying that Vitalik is a hypocrite because the reason why Ethereum is prosperous right now is because of these large-scale projects. A large part of Ethereum's massive rise in 2017 was due to various projects, including plate projects. Okay, so I have no idea what that is.
ICO and tokens.
Yeah, okay, right. So I was asking one of my Chinese friends what that was, and she was saying it was some kind of slang. So I guess that means ICO or stuff like that. It is the projects that bring traffic to Ethereum and transaction fees. People will know about Ethereum, use it, and consume it. Bitcoin is the same without various items and plates. Jeez, I don't know what's going on there. How has it soared in 17 years? I guess he means 10 years, but whatever. I was laughing secretly, taking off my pants and not recognizing people. I have no idea.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was asking my friend what the hell that meant, and she was saying that the translation was completely wrong there. He was basically saying that Vitalik is now pretending that he can ignore all of those people that contributed to those projects, even though those projects were the reason why Ethereum is so kind of widespread right now. Anyway, that was the thought. I guess there's a lot of slang in there. That's why it's kind of confusing. Thoughts, anyone? It's kind of a
because I'm using Ethereum a lot now for Tag1. No, in fact, that's all I'm using at the moment. And I'd use another project, but I need an alternative to MetaMask to make it easy for users to interact via websites. And we don't have anything quite as easy to plug in just yet. Otherwise, I'll be using things like Tron or I don't know one of the other smart contract platforms, which is cheaper.
Right. I mean, I'm not super familiar with Tron, but I do know that. I mean, I use TRC20 for Tether a lot because that's Tron subsidizing that. Isn't the only reason why it's cheap because there's not a lot of activity on Tron? Like, I don't know, like that I could be completely wrong. I'm just wondering.
It's a different structure. So the transaction fees are a lot lower because of the way it's being created. So it does. You can transfer your Solidity projects right over to Tron, but I want something like MetaMask to be able to interact with it, make it easy for users to do that. Haven't got it yet.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that makes sense. That so one of the reasons why people stick with Ethereum is because the ecosystem is so mature. Like, it's got all the tools that you need. And even as a first-time Solidity developer, there's so many tutorials, there's so many open source projects that you can copy from if you wanted to. But it's not the same for a lot of the other projects. Even if you say that Tron could be faster or whatever, it's actually it's a little bit harder to get started. I think that's the difference. Yeah, so I think people in the chat are saying, yeah, so TRX blockchain for lower fee. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing, right? Whenever I trade Tether these days, if the customer has the TRC20, the Tron version of Tether, we always prefer that because it's faster, it's cheaper.
Lewis, what wallet are you using for TRX? Do you recommend anything to users?
No, I don't have anything to recommend. I mean, we're still using Binance. Right, so it's in and out of our Binance wallet.
Right.
It's just that that if you pick the TRC20 version of Tron, of Tether, you can basically transfer for free, and it confirms in 30 seconds. So it's kind of hard to beat that. Okay, all right. Anyway, so that's the news on Forsage. I was looking at this is a screenshot of DApp Radar. This is a list of all of the top 10 most popular decentralized apps right now. And as you can see, not a lot has changed. Number 1, number 5, number 6, number 9, and number 10 are all categorized as high risk. So this means that it's very likely some kind of Ponzi. Whereas the ones that we know of, 1inch, Aave, Synthetics, they're still here. Uniswap. So these are kind of names that you would be familiar with if you did anything in the DeFi stuff. But at the moment, the high risk stuff is definitely dominating. This Ether chain thing, I don't think that's reached the Philippines yet. In fact, it's funny. It's kind of ironic na the way that I can find out about the new Ponzi DeFi apps is because the Philippines SEC is writing advisories about them. That's kind of how I'm discovering these things now, because they did one about Lion's Share also. So once they make their way into the Philippines, the SEC seems to be really on the ball about warning people about it, which is good. So I'm into that, I think. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at right now with the DeFi stuff. Let's move on to something else that happened really recently. This news item was just from 2 days ago, and it involves Sykes in Cebu. So the headline is this: Google pulls out outsourced work from PH call center after fraud incident. And normally, this is not the kind of stuff that we would talk about. However, it's the subhead that's interesting here. So internet giant Google has confirmed that it pulled out an outsourced work from the Cebu operations of Sykes after a few employees were caught converting gift cards into Bitcoins. So here's what we know. So it was 60 million pesos worth of Bitcoin. So about call it $1.2 million worth of Bitcoin. And what they were doing was they were using gift cards from Google and then basically selling them on the black market in exchange for Bitcoin. I think that was kind of what was happening there. I've been trying to reach out to some of our friends in Cebu to give us a little bit more detail there, but I haven't found anyone who actually knew them. And it'll actually be very interesting to see how they were selling those gift cards. Mon, did you have any thoughts on this? I know that you were talking about it in our Slack the other day.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking, like, if we're going to see increased scrutiny, like, although when I looked at the number 60 million pesos, that's nothing like the RCBC scandal, right? So we probably won't see increased scrutiny from the banks.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess comparatively, parang, oh God, what was the RCBC number? Was it 2 billion pesos or something? I forget now. Something like that. You're muted.
It was 1 billion. Yeah.
$1 billion?
No, pesos.
No, it was 92 million. Something like that.
All right. From back then, yeah, I think, sorry, it was about 60 million, something like that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I
It was a lot.
remember the fine. The fine to
Was a
RCBC
billion.
was about $1 billion. That was
billion
that's the
pesos,
number I
yeah.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 1
yeah.
billion pesos. If they fined RCBC 1 billion pesos. I don't think they are gonna fine Sykes anywhere near that. Um, in fact, I think the fine here is mostly just the bad public relations. Like they lost Google, for God's sake. I mean, that's a big deal, no? So just a little bit more detail. The illegal activity first broke out in social media in early August when 3 Sykes employees in Cebu were found to have siphoned off about 60 million pesos worth of Google gift cards and converted it into Bitcoin over a long period of time.
That's what
Lots
gets
of
me over a
questions
long
there.
period of time.
Yeah,
You know,
what is a long period of
why
time?
wasn't it spotted? You know, wow.
I don't know. And they only got caught very, very recently.
So the best
in
part
the chat,
about this whole thing is the fact it's got Bitcoin in there.
the best or worst part,
More-
I don't know. It
More
depends on your-
advertising.
in the chat, Lexus is saying the 300 plus agents will lose their job first week next month.
Wow.
I don't know if that is going to actually happen. I know that Sykes responded by saying that they've fired the employees that were behind this scheme, but it seems like the other agents that were working for the Google client, I think that they were being reassigned, but I don't know for sure either. But certainly it doesn't look good, no? So I think that it looks bad for the Philippines in general, and it certainly doesn't look good for Bitcoin. So yeah, not great news specifically. Commenting for the problem, looking at some of the other comments here. Yikes for Sykes. Yes, that's my thoughts exactly. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this is another bit of important news that came out August 11th, so almost 2 weeks ago now, and we really wanted to talk about it last week. Ramon was the one who first mentioned it to me. Do you want to talk about this a little bit, just to give people?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read the highlights, right? So
go for it.
Microstrategy is a publicly traded company in the US, over $1 billion in market cap. So they're not huge like Apple, obviously. But they bought $250 million, about 21,000 Bitcoins. And they use that, like they put the extra money they have into Bitcoin. Not everything, but a big chunk, right? Like normally the advice, the non-financial, there's not financial advice that we give is if you get into Bitcoin, like 1 to maybe 5% of your net worth. But these guys are like, I believe somewhere around 30% of their treasury.
Okay.
And they see it as a long-term value for their shareholders, useful to both individuals and institutions, superior to cash, and they've made Bitcoin the principal holding in its treasury reserve strategy. So I think this is a really big deal.
Yeah.
People know about all the money printing that's going on, but like it's hard to understand what's actually going to happen. But people know there's something wrong, and there can't be no effect, right, on the money we hold.
Yeah.
So companies with a lot of money obviously think about this too, because if they have, $500 million in cash, and even if inflation goes as expected at 2%, like that still hurts, right? If they keep it in cash. So this is one way that a company this large has hedged against potential inflation. And the interesting here, another interesting tidbit is Vanguard and BlackRock own large percentages of MicroStrategy. So they would have had to been notified by MicroStrategy that they were buying this.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Vanguard and BlackRock, they're like, the super traditional
Right.
hedge funds or financial institutions, right?
Fund managers.
Fund managers. So they, in a sense, indirectly own Bitcoin, And the interesting thing here is another damning interesting, right? I did say I was bullish about Bitcoin. Is that their stock rose like 15% the next day.
Okay.
And you can be sure that other companies are thinking about doing the same.
Right. I think that's the most powerful part about this news, no? Na parang if someone like this, someone that's established like this, I think the scariest thing here is that they're a publicly traded company and they had the balls to make this massive investment
super
in
risky.
Bitcoin, no? Yeah, and so that says so much about how they think of things like the US dollar.
Yeah.
They would rather go into Bitcoin than USD or something else. No, and I think that's pretty significant. Yeah.
And if anything is going to take Bitcoin to $1 trillion, it's I don't think it's going to be individuals. I think it'll be moves like this.
Right. It'll be big businesses that are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin. So funny things about these numbers though. So 21,000 Bitcoins. So that's assuming that all the Bitcoin has been mined. That means that they are trying to own 0.1% of all of the Bitcoins in existence. That means that they, the Winklevoss twins still have about 10 times more Bitcoin than they do. Because the
Wild, right?
1% there. So that's pretty insane. I suppose there's two of them, so technically they have to half it. But
and it's nice to be able to say statements like that where if you own 21,000, then you own at least 0.1 of Bitcoins, because a lot of them have already been lost, right? So in reality, you probably own more than 0.1.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that to be able to say something like that where that 21 million is the limit, right? Like no one's going to be making more Bitcoins anymore. And in 2030, I think we would have mined like something like 99% of all Bitcoins, something like that sounds so much sooner than you'd think.
Right. So more numbers on that. So currently there's about 17 million Bitcoin that have been mined, no? And 1 million, as we know, is with Satoshi. So that is basically, in theory, those Bitcoins are frozen. We're not going to be able to see them getting moved around. There's another million Bitcoin that is believed to be lost forever because people just were not careful with their wallets back in the old days. I don't know how much Bitcoin Mark has lost, but so like just Bitcoin lying in in old laptops that they forgot to back up. So there's supposedly about 1 million Bitcoin that is also no longer going to ever come back into circulation. And then of the remaining, that means there's only about 15 million that's actually usable. No, only about 2.7, 2.8 million Bitcoins are actually on exchanges. So that means that the largest chunk of Bitcoin... Sorry? Say again.
That number's dropping every day. So people are pulling out their BTC from exchanges.
Right.
Yeah, correct. Are they putting it onto decentralized exchanges?
No, just where they wrap lending, or
they're wrapping it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but yes. So anyway, the point is that the vast majority of all of the Bitcoin that is out there is never going to touch an exchange. There's only a small portion of it that's actually ever being traded at any given time, and that's why it's a little bit easier than you would think to manipulate the Bitcoin market, because there's not that much of it because that's actually being traded. So anyway, just interesting little things there. In the chat, Miko is saying, I guess this is Miko Igalas, Mark Penge Bitcoin. I assume you know enough Tagalog to know what that means, Mark.
What's Penge?
He's asking for some. He's just asking
Good
for
answer.
some.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's paying at me? What does it mean?
Give me some. Just give me
Oh.
Bitcoin. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
well, 6-7 years ago I
Nico.
would have done, but no.
Ask your boss for some, Miko. You must have a lot.
Yeah, I feel like your boss probably has a lot of Bitcoin too, Miko. Come on, jeez.
I still pay $10 or $20 to friends in Bitcoin just to get them, because they don't really know how it works until you give them a bit. And I gave my sister some a couple of weeks ago in England, and she just heard about it and she knew about it. But has it? Every day she's saying, "Oh, my Bitcoin's going up by like a few cents," because she only have
Right.
£10 worth. So that's the quickest way of getting someone to know about it.
Yeah, it still is. It still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we've got a little bit of graphical problem here again. I don't know what's going on with my PDF, but so this was the news that I was talking about at the start of the show. How the Yearn Finance token Wi-Fi is now worth more than 1 Bitcoin. Justin was talking about it. Eman was talking about it too. But let's just do a quick refresher now. And actually, I just realized my price is obsolete now because here I was saying it was $12,500. It's actually more than that now, no? Coach, do you have the price there? Is it like $14,000 now or something? The Wi-Fi token, or
13,935.
okay, yeah. So it's almost 14,000. So yeah, it
Yeah,
is significantly higher than 1 Bitcoin. There are some. So this is actually a really cool website. This screenshot on the bottom half here. So it's called Into the Block, and you can put in the name of the token that you want to get analysis on, and it gives you like these really nice bite-sized bits of information. Just enough to kind of get you started, no? So for example, here, this is my favorite one: holders making money at the current price. And what this means is how many of the people who are currently holding this token, how many of them bought lower than the current price? So according to this, about 70% of them bought at lower than the current price. So that means most of the people who are holding Wi-Fi are currently doing quite well with their investment. And granted, it was only $30 about 2 months ago, 1 month ago. So it's kind of hard to imagine how you could have lost money on this investment. The other thing that's interesting here is the concentration by large holders. What this means is how much of the total market cap of Wi-Fi is with just a handful of people. And this is kind of what Justin was saying earlier about how there's a very big chunk of it that's actually just with one person. So here it says 83%. So what that means is that kind of the majority of Wi-Fi tokens are actually just with a few people. If you compare this to Bitcoin, I actually have the Bitcoin version of this. The concentration by large holders of Bitcoin is only 10%. So it's actually very low compared to Wi-Fi. Okay, and that's kind of why we prefer Bitcoin for a lot of reasons. Justin, earlier you were saying that the reason why, sorry, was that Justin or Eman who said it? Now, the reason why the Wi-Fi token was able to go up in price so high was because there were so few of it.
Yeah,
That was
capsize.
Eman, yeah, capsize.
Ready supply.
Right, because there's less than 30,000 units of Wi-Fi. So that's basically nothing, right? That's, I mean, 30,000 units, that's almost how much Bitcoin MicroStrategy owns. And they're like one company, right? So parang it's kind of an unfair comparison to say that, Wi-Fi is worth, similar to Bitcoin. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But, per unit, it's becoming more and more. So there's a really cool one sentence description of what Wi-Fi does, and this was very helpful to me because I wasn't quite sure how to describe it to you guys. So here it's on the upper left. No, if you're not familiar with Yearn Finance, you can think of it as a smart bank account that automatically allocates your assets to different low risk investment strategies. So imagine that your bank account, your BPI or your BDO bank account, instead of just sticking your money in there and then waiting for, well, basically never for that interest rate to, to give you a little bit of money, it will actually reinvest your money into kind of various investment strategies. Maybe it's the treasury bonds. Maybe it's some kind of lending engine or something. But imagine if your bank account was smart enough to do those decisions for you. That's what Wi-Fi is trying to do. I don't know if it actually is able to do that. I don't know if anyone here on the call has tried that. Mark, I know that you looked into this DeFi stuff recently. Have you tried Wi-Fi at all?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you want to try it anytime soon, and then let us know how things go for you?
I'm a bit more settled. Yeah.
Okay. So I have not tried it. I don't know if anyone else here has, but but that's the pitch. No, the pitch is that it will reinvest your money into the best, the highest interest rate, highest performing instrument, so that you can make a little bit more money from it.
But it says low risk, right? So there's some assessment there on how to grade the risk of certain projects.
And certainly the word
I
low
wonder how
risk
that's done.
is, I feel like that's kind of euphemistic for DeFi. I don't think anything in DeFi is low risk right now. I don't know, but it feels like all of it is slightly high risk to me.
I agree.
What is this? That's the only Wi-Fi right now who is so high that other Wi-Fi like PLDT and Globe. What? Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what's to stop anybody else? Obviously, it's going up because there's a lot of demand for it, and the supply is so low, 30,000. So what's to stop some other copycat trying to figure out another decentralized application of Ethereum to create it?
That's the part I'm interested in, actually.
You steal all this thunder,
true,
and
right?
watch this thing go back to $1,000 when I've got a, let's call it Wi-Fi 2.
That's true, right? Because
version.
you can have
What's special
another
here?
set of smart contracts that does the same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
What's
And
special?
then
I don't get
Wi-Fi
it.
smart contracts are completely open source.
Open source.
You can just copy them yourself and change the name. That's literally how the YAM protocol happened, right? The YAM protocol copied the synthetics smart contract and then changed some parameters. Unfortunately, they introduced a bug when they did it. But anyway, but the point is that there's the problem with these DeFi apps is that none of them are unique by definition, because all of their secret sauce is actually available to the public, so anyone can just copy. So I'm not sure. I don't know where it's all going. I wish Gabby Dizon, who was our guest in the last show, I wish he was on the show right now to defend Wi-Fi, because he actually does own a little bit of Wi-Fi. So he's one of those people who's quite happy with the price movement. But I guess I don't understand it enough in order to be really comfortable with it. That being said, Mark, if you do have a little bit of your Ethereum, I know that you just bought a lot of Ethereum recently. So if you have some
I'm actually
Ethereum
doing it while you're talking. I've connected up on Yearn.finance with my with MetaMask, and I'm trying it out right now. So I'm trying it now.
Okay, so you will have 7 days worth of data by next week, and you can share it with us and let us know if it worked for you.
Yep.
That sounds cool, right? Awesome. Great. Thank you. Thank God one of us had the balls to try it. Okay.
Wait, Luis,
So, yes,
etong
Coach.
Wi-Fi, paano nagkaroon si Gab? Si Gab Alto? Tama?
Yeah.
Alto. Ano yung private sale?
It's available on Binance.
He farmed it. No, he didn't buy it on Binance.
He buy it? Oh.
He bought it when it was still pretty low. Not naman super low, but in the low thousands of dollars yung buy-in niya. Syempre, I'm just telling everyone what Gabby did. No, Jesus. I don't think that this is actually my story to tell. But anyway, he farmed it? What's the word? What's the verb for this? Is it farmed? Can you farm
Yamming.
it? He yammed it.
Yield farming. Yammers.
He yearned it. He yearned for it so hard that it just kind of showed up in his MetaMask wallet, just automatically. I don't know, but it wasn't a private sale. I'm pretty sure it was not a private sale. He found some other way to get it. And then he just kind of sat on
Did
it.
this have a private sale?
No, none of them do, right? That's kind of one of the reasons why people are saying that the DeFi craze is different from ICOs, because like with the ICOs, it all revolved around these, very quiet private sales, and everyone gets in at really, really good prices and stuff like that. That's not the case in DeFi. It's a little bit more democratic, supposedly. But I don't know. There's still a lot of questions. Anyway, yeah. So, man, I just realized I shouldn't have been sharing like stuff about what Gabby was doing with his investments. But
Well, who knows? He may have bought like just 0.001, right? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna say it was more than that. But all right, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Stop it.
I'm not gonna say it.
I was trying to save you, man.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah. It was like 0.001 Wi-Fi. Yeah, nothing. Anyway, okay. Was there anything else about Bitcoin here? Yeah, I just actually wanted to add this just because I wanted to recommend Into the Block, just because I really like this website. Really great analysis tools. And if there is a coin here that you're not super familiar with, you just punch it in and you get these really simplified market signals. And this is obviously not for professionals like Coach Eman, no, but this is more for people like, just you have like 5 minutes and you just want to get a decent summary of an altcoin or whatever. And so anyway, that's the reason why I kind of like this website a lot. Anyway, okay.
Wait. Not financial advice kasi baka narinig nila signal. Wait. Signal.
Oh, sorry. Not financial advice. Although this is website advice. I like this website, but that doesn't mean anything. I just like the website. That's all. But yes, we are not giving financial advice. In the chat a few minutes ago, si Vincent Macalino actually had a question here. I'm going to try to see if I can find it. He was asking about Chainlink, and that's actually kind of the next subject here. So, Coach, I don't know if you had any other thoughts on the Chainlink thing. Sorry, I can't find the question anymore. Gosh, where is it, Kaya? Anyway, okay, yeah, sorry, I can't find it anymore. Sorry. So, Coach, did you have any other thoughts about Chainlink? Why it's now the 5th largest crypto by market cap? I think you could argue that XRP doesn't really deserve to be in that top 5 spots anymore. But
Yeah, and neither does Tether, to be honest. It's a stable coin, right?
yeah, wala eh. Yeah, but you're right. Actually, you should. I think that we need to start differentiating between stable coins and stuff like that. Yeah.
The reason I will probably be using Chainlink, and that will give you an idea why it might be useful. So the ability to link any of my APIs to send money means that instead of writing a smart contract that can pay in Ether, which people don't understand, if you have, say, a billing contract that says you have to be paid out if you don't do this or whatever, I can put real money in there being sent on a wallet. And also things like we have to in our APIs, we have to check, is this person allowed to receive the money in their wallet? So we can actually do that in a smart contract, send that query before the money is actually sent, which is sent by API or by a smart contract. So that's really useful to us as a money institution.
Okay.
And I should take it.
Why would you need that to be? Why would you need a decentralized Oracle system?
Well, if I can have a smart contract that controls all the logic that people trust, but the actual sending of money, how is that done normally? So that's what comes in. If I need to check external data, if I need to connect up to my own APIs, I can't do that with anything else except Chainlink. What else could I use? It brings the real world with the real world banking into the Ethereum smart contract space.
I don't have a good answer for you. I think you'd have to build something.
No, I am
sure.
starting to use it. So, and we've got my programmers going through it, learning it, and we'll be implementing it depending on what we do. It's a combination of Tagbon, which is the Ethereum smart contract, and Tagcash, which is actual cash being sent. So when you tie that together, that's where we'll be using Chainlink. And
Interesting.
that's why it's going up in value.
Yeah. Coach Eman, did you have any other thoughts on this, or?
Wala namang valuable thoughts regarding Chainlink. Pero share ko lang na Chainlink kasi I'm also looking at it since Sequoia already, not sure pero my friend was saying Sequoia is already part of Chainlink. So that's why.
The foundation?
Yeah. Sequoia Capital.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Something. Okay. Takes a lot to get Sequoia to move on crypto. They don't usually make a lot of crypto investments. Okay. Zilong in the chat is saying that Chainlink is DeFi's best choice. I guess so. I mean, I guess it's the best choice for the Oracle stuff because like the other Oracle projects are much younger than Chainlink. So I guess if that's what you're comparing it to, then that is probably the best choice. In the chat, Bri Ledesma is asking for our thoughts on OMG. Does anyone remember what OMG is?
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
Google.
Yeah. I don't know.
Google
I have no
yan,
idea.
Any
So
thoughts, guys?
OMG built
Yeah.
a good sidechain network for real money. And it's something we're looking at. We looked at the way they did the code, and we're looking at, should we join the OMG network or should we create our own sidechain? And that's something that we really need, something that's faster and cheaper than Ethernet. And that's OMG exists as a sidechain for that.
Can you tell me what OMG does? I've completely forgotten. It's been
OMG
so long.
it's like us in Thailand. It started in Thailand, but they do a lot more than that. So they're a e-money company, and they're allowing money to transfer via Ethereum network.
Okay.
So pretty much, and you can add other currencies as well. So it makes a really good decentralized network for moving money around between different institutions, etc., via Ethereum.
Well, but Bitcoin's being used for that now,
OMG's
right?
up like
Yeah, but it's real money, OMG.
So it's like it's not
Stable?
in Bitcoin, it's not in OMG, but it's in USD or whatever.
Right, but you got to use OMG to use the network.
check that.
So when you send money,
It's up
real money on the
70%,
network,
right? There it is.
I see.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's
The
what I'm
last
seeing.
month?
Sorry, am I seeing?
That's why it's so popular right
Yeah,
now.
I'm looking at it on CoinMarketCap right now, so it's doing pretty well. I mean, granted, it was $1, and then if you zoom out to like, I guess it came out in 2017. This was one of the original ICO coins, kasi. And if you zoom out, it's gone down a lot from the 25. It was like almost $25 at its peak.
That's the usual hype and buy on the sell on the rumor, buy on the news.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. I mean, they are a good company, good people behind it, but it's nothing spectacular. It's not like Yuan Finance or anything.
So okay, that's interesting though. That I'm always kind of interested when people ask us about these other alts, because I'm always interested to find out why they are interested in those things.
Because it went up like that.
Oh, is it just because of that? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's just
because
because
Why
of
not? All right.
Okay.
Everything else in the last month has been down net, and then this thing
That's
goes
what
up.
that's what hooks all of us in. I mean, like 99% of the people, right? It's like it's the price action.
Yeah.
Right.
Although some stay for different reasons.
Yeah. Same with Bitcoin, actually.
Yeah, Bitcoin too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So sorry, Bri, if we don't have anything specific to say about OMG. Price go up, so good, right? I guess. That's like my technical analysis.
You can just say it's not a scam, and it's a company that's been doing good things for a number of years. So I don't know if it's just a buying thing and it's pushing the price up, but they might have made a couple of announcements soon, or they're rolling out the network they've been building for so long. So maybe that's cause.
Yeah, it's funny how so from 2017, this guy, so OMG, Tron, Chainlink is actually an ICO coin also. So these are the coins that survived 2017, continued to get bigger and bigger. I mean, obviously
actually made something.
Yeah, they actually built something. But all of them went through like a very long down cycle also.
Yeah.
But those are the handful of ones that I remember from 2017 that that are still around. So I mean, it wasn't all bad, like there are still the other one is crypto.com pala. Crypto.com, which used to be called Monaco Coin.
Oh.
That was also a 2017 ICO.
Yeah.
So those guys are still around, and they're making wonderful looking metal crypto debit cards, which are pretty awesome. So yeah, there you go. Okay, sige, last bit here. This is about Yam. I guess we already talked about this, and actually there's not much to say anymore. Sorry, I just realized I'm sharing the wrong screen now. Let me go back to my here. Yeah, so Yam is an example of one of the DeFi projects that did very well for about 48 hours and then completely disappeared. So these guys naman, these were they copied the smart contract of Synthetics. They renamed it Yam. They changed a few parameters. They launched it, and because they were well-known people in the DeFi space, their market cap just kept going up and up for about 48 hours, and then they realized that there was a bug in the smart contract, and it went to zero. So it went from $60 million to zero in 35 minutes. So that's pretty amazing, drop. But that's kind of what's going on in DeFi right now. So it is definitely a gambler's space. I think that you really need to be careful with the moves that you're making in DeFi. Granted, Yam did say at the start that they were an experiment. Don't put money you're not willing to lose. And wow, when they said money you're willing to lose, they really meant it, because all of those people lost their money, or at least they lost some of their money as it was dropping. But anyway, just a warning: not all of the DeFi projects are rock solid. No, so so stuff like Compound, or I guess some of the other ones we're talking about recently, Aave is the other one. Those are a little bit more reliable. At least they've been around for a little bit longer. But be careful. I think that's the thing that I can I really need to keep repeating. Just be careful, guys, because if you lose your money on this, no one is going to help you get it back. It's you're on your own there, and that's how decentralization works. So, okay. Miko in the chat is saying Arthur Hayes is a yammer. So Arthur Hayes is the founder of BitMEX. Arthur Hayes is, I will say that he really, really likes making bets. I mean, BitMEX is basically a massive website about making bets on things, right? And the CEO is obviously that kind of guy. He made a bet on Yam. I don't think he was affected very much when he lost all his money on it, because he's very wealthy. I'm not sure that the other people who invested in Yam can say the same thing. So I would say, just be. Not everyone is Arthur Hayes, or not everyone can afford to lose the money that Arthur Hayes can afford to lose. So just to kind of emphasize that further. Okay, we are running out of time. We're actually down to our last few minutes. We had one question here, but I might leave this for next week, no? But I'm just gonna read it anyway, because I want to see if anyone in the chat has any ideas now. So here's the question. This is actually from Ping Mendoza, one of our viewers from 2 weeks ago. He was asking us, who are the sources of information, analysis, or entertainment for Philippine crypto followers? And I mean, obviously, he means other than BloomCast. So just giving some examples here, channels like Chico Crypto. I don't actually know who these people are. I don't know.
These are guys who are traditional PSEI commentators. So seasoned PSEI commentators. And now I think they came into the space maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, after the 2017 hype. That's when they came into, started evangelizing Bitcoin and crypto. So they already had a big following based on Philippine stock market. And I
Okay.
guess because of that, that's why people asking about them.
This might
Okay,
be a
so
good question to raise next week, and then you can start talking about all of the websites that people go to get information.
Yeah.
So, but it's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much. Start giving away the $20 now.
Okay. Yeah. So this is more for the other viewers who maybe have some ideas about like people we should check out or mention on the show, because like we're always looking for other people who are doing stuff like this. So okay. How do I actually stop this thing? And now I have to share the other thing. Okay. Are there legit crypto Filipino mainstream influencers? Coach Eman, what do you mean? We've got like one right here. It's like our most legit crypto Filipino influencer is right here in the video stream with us. Why are you even asking that question? I don't know. Coach, do you have any other, off the top of your head lang, do you have any other, Pinoy YouTubers or whatever that you follow? Can you think of any?
So far, wala eh. Kasi when it comes to media, so especially if you're going to go to my page, I still considered it as a noise eh. Pero,
Okay.
ano ba sabihin? It's really hard.
Mhm.
It's really hard to tell, especially if the participant is really new in cryptocurrency kasi sobrang daming information. So challenging talaga.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all I can
Okay.
say is
Yeah,
stay in the
that's,
game and then gather experience, and then from there you can reference. Kasi this is
Mhm.
is still new, so it's really hard to tell na which is which. So even
Right.
me, wag kayo magtiwala sa akin. So I mean, check nyo muna yung information before you believe
Yeah.
before you
Okay.
believe sa influencer, kasi some of the influencer are also paid to promote a particular coin, which is
Right.
That's
for
very
me it's
important.
slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't name names out of that list before, but there was a lot of people there that were, let's say, on a payroll or promoting crypto. So be vigilant also with who you're going to follow out
I
there.
think that the one thing that the BloomCast will always guarantee for you guys is that no one is paying us to promote
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Well, we wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here.
In fact, we're the ones giving it away.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice segue.
Yeah, and that, my friends, is how you segue into the viewer raffle, which, by the way, is Tether, not Bitcoin. Sorry, I missed my.
Hey, but we're gonna do that lightning when we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
our
yeah.
Bloom School. Yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll give
one of
away
these
by
days, I
Lightning.
wanna we wanna do a show on the Bitcoin Lightning Network, and the prize will be Bitcoin, and we will only give you that Bitcoin if you download a Lightning wallet, so people
Yeah.
can kind of learn how to do this stuff. Wow. Okay. The chat is actually mentioning some names. I probably shouldn't read that. No. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna read the names.
And
Yeah. One last quick question lang from Hans Palacios. When is the YouTube channel final? Hans, we're not sure yet. We're going to keep trying different things. I saw someone commenting that the YouTube channel is clearer, like the quality of the video is better. So if that's true, maybe that is a better place for us to be streaming. But ano naman there's no penalty for just doing both Facebook and YouTube. So we're happy to do both, and then we'll just make it available to to all of the viewers, and then they can just decide where they want to go. Okay. So anyway, let's do the raffle. Hold on. Hey Mark, if you do well with your Wi-Fi investment, can you sponsor one of the episodes next?
Yeah,
in the next?
one of the biggest problems I'm seeing right now is I can't invest my Ethereum directly
Why
into
not?
anything. You have to buy DAI or buy a currency first. And I don't want to buy that because Ethereum might go up. So it's a bit annoying. Anyway, still learning.
I don't accept Ethereum as collateral. That's kind of ironic.
Well, yeah, on that sound, you earn finance, you got lots of choices, but Ethereum is not one I found yet. So maybe I'm still learning.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We'll try to figure that out. Okay. We do actually have a handful of viewers on the YouTube channll. Okay. Thanks, Moises.
I have a question. Does this pick from YouTube comments as well?
I don't think so. So I think
Facebook
that,
okay.
I think we're kind of limited to just the Facebook stream for now. I never figured out how to do both.
Okay.
So anyway, so
And
that's
you'll-
probably one of the reasons why we have to stick with just Facebook for now. But anyway, okay, here we go. Let me do our first winner. Oh, Jack
Wow.
Bran, one of our very, very, very first winners from like back in April or March, I think. So congratulations, you've won again. Good for you. I'm gonna copy your name now so I don't lose it. And then what will happen is that we will message you after the chat, after the stream is done, and I'll contact you for for your Tether address. Winner number 2. Alex Avantar. Is Alex still in the chat? Where is he? I guess
What?
he's somewhere.
I didn't see any comment.
Yeah, he's been
No, he was-
commenting
he
all
was here.
since
he
the
was here.
start.
Really?
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Well,
Now you're rich.
so that's you're rich. Yeah, your name is Rich
10 bucks
Alex.
richer.
There you
Yeah,
go.
10 bucks.
We're helping you. We're helping you get a little bit richer each time. Okay, so we're down to our last winner. Okay. it's funny. Okay, here we go. One last winner. HJJ kaya lang. Yeah. Do you know this guy, Coach?
Yeah, oh, lagi
Nice.
nanonood.
Luto.
Okay, there you go. Luto. Okay. Wow. Wow. Bro.
He knows him. He knows him.
Well, I mean, I
Anong
think.
balata ba dyan?
Oh,
Coach, man.
yeah.
Lagi nanalo din sa akin yun eh. Oy, HJ.
HJ, ah.
Okay. All right. Sige. So
Ano?
congratulations to our 3 winners, Jack, Alex, HJ. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching to everyone on the chat. Let's do our goodbyes. Let me just switch the view here. So we'll be back next week, obviously. Mark Vernon, I guess you'll be coming to us live from Cyprus still. Where
Moving
can people find?
I'll have proper Wi-Fi next time. And it's not very good at the
Wi-Fi and
moment.
Birth Wi-Fi's. Yeah.
Nice. So where can people find more of you, Mark?
It's just Telegram at Mark Vernon if anyone wants to ping me.
Okay. Thanks so much. Coach Eman, where can people find more of you?
You can find me sa Facebook, fb.com/cryptocurrencytrader10. And I'm magla-live din ako after BloomX for more technical analysis at Cryptocurrency Trader. Yun lang, sa YouTube. You can find me.
HJ, if you want to get your price, just ask Coach Eman for it. Thank you very much. Joke lang. We'll do it. You talk to me. Anyway, sorry. Justin David, do you want to take us out?
Sure. You can find us, guys, on Facebook or bloom.solutions. Feel free to ask your questions and see you next week.
Thanks so much, everyone. We'll be back on Tuesday next week. We'll still be in some kind of lockdown, I'm sure. But we'll catch you again here Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Good night, everyone.
You're back.
Bye.